Hey guys, how's it going? Angel here. I'm going to be talking like this because it sounds better. But here I am, I'm right here. So, the things I wanted to talk about in this video is what have I been doing, the future of Angel, game development, and music, which they sort of coincide a little bit, not really. So, let's start. So, what have I been doing? I've been working a lot of Whole Foods. And Whole Foods has been pretty tricky, but I've been using hermetic principles to flip my perspective in my own favor. For example, I'm taking advantage of it. So I'm learning how to socialize better. I'm learning how to work more efficiently. I do a lot of cleaning because I'm prepared foods. I'm bringing those skills back to the house. Cleaning better here. I am seeing this as an opportunity to learn how to work more efficiently and just know how to work long term. So that's how it's been going. Going to therapy has been helping, which is another thing I've been doing. And my wife has been using feng shui, which is a really interesting metaphysic occult topic, to make our home much more energized, powerful, grounding. That's basically what's been going on with me, working a lot, therapy, and making the house really cool. So next thing I want to talk about was the future of this channel, Angel. What am I doing? What's going on? So I only do one video a month, which is fine, but I really want to do more. I just can't justify doing more because this is one of my lowest priorities because it is considered a passion or a hobby, and I just have other priorities that are higher than that right now. But if this became if I had to do this because it was a priority, that would be great. So the pivot I'm doing a lot of pivots. We're going to monetize video games and make video games. And probably never saw this coming unless there are people here that have been watching me since the beginning that know me better than I know me. You always saw this coming. You knew this was coming from the beginning. But yeah, game design, game development. I'll probably do some devlogs once I'm ready. It's a long-term process. We've been going for a while. We're not getting any younger, we're just getting older, smarter, and wiser, more powerful. So here we are. Aeon Studios. Aeon is kind of like an angel, but a Gnostic angel, so I really like that name. It sounds bigger than a name. It really just sounds because it means era or age, it sounds something huge. Aeon Studios sounds like a really cool studio name, and the focus of the games, I want to specialize in a genre, get really good at that, but when I branch out to other genres, I just want to keep the occult, Gnostic message perspective. All these games are going to have positive morals. I want to showcase positive, right, objective morals and just have good stories. I really feel some of the cartoons that I grew up watching in the 90s had really good morals and good characters that were heroic. Also, the occult vibes and the metaphysics and stuff like that. I want to do a lot of stuff show people stuff like that through video games. The video game that I've been working on, well, first I wanted to say I was going to do a shooter, a shmup, but I recently found out that those are actually way harder, which is funny because I was going to start with that because they seemed easier, but they're actually way harder, which is even funnier if you think about it because it's a really small, imagine this, the genre is really small. It's basically dead. Shmup devs don't make much money and their games are really hard to make. Wow. You got to be really passionate if you want to make those kind of games. And I think I may want to in the future. But the game I really wanted to make is a Metroidvania, which happens to be easier than shmups, and they happen to be really popular right now, with Hollow Knight killing it. One of the weirdest things that happened, and for you that have been watching for a while, you freaking know, but I've had a spirit guide named Lily. I've described her to you guys before that know. We've already seen her jump into Pokemon, retaining her Arcana form, her astral form, very similar to how I astrally describe her, with blonde hair, blue eyes, and a white dress. And she kind of has a childlike, naive like Princess Demeter. Now there's a game called Ender Lilies, and Lily jumped into that. Maybe I'm taking too long to make this game. I gotta like rush. I don't need the rush. I just need to stop wasting time inefficiently. But Lily's in this game. Same arcana, similar arcana to the Pokemon and to the Astral. Blonde hair, like bangs, long, straight hair, blue eyes, and a white flowy dress. And she's a priest, which goes in line with her character. And childlike, literally a child in this one. Fascinating, like really interesting that she's in that. So I was gonna make Lily, and I've shown pictures of her that I've had an artist draw, and she had blonde hair, blue eyes with like bangs, long straight hair, and a white flowy dress because she's a priest. This was more of a Greek inspiration because the setting was going to be in ancient Antiquia, right before like the destruction of the libraries of Alexandria. However, because this has happened, I have done a little pivot, and I'm still gonna double down and put Lily, like Lily is not being scrapped, and I'm gonna make her game, but I'm gonna wait on her game. Plus, this game almost sounds more interesting. You're gonna play as Lyra, and before I knew who Lyra actually was, before I realized Lyra was actually my twin flame, and that's a whole other topic of like twin flame unions and just the volatileness and the energy of twin flames. Very interesting stuff. Whole other topic for maybe another video. But I thought she was like a villain, but I was also like on a very weird, like I was the villain. It's a whole crazy story. That's another whole topic. But I realized Lyra is actually a very heroic character, and if you like look for her arcana in the real world, she's in a lot of places. But right now I'm literally married to her, and so it's been easier to like pick apart her personality and make a character based off of her. And you're gonna play as Lyra now, so which is a similar character design, but Lyra usually doesn't have blonde hair, like more like dark hair, and green eyes instead of blue eyes. Still kind of a flowy dress, but it probably won't be white. It'll probably be like purple or red or something like that. Pivoting to that, also pivoting the setting to be more cyberpunk futuristic, maybe only like 20 years in the future. 20 years in the future would be like 2040, which looks really cyberpunk because we're kind of going in real life, going in a cyberpunk direction. And I make cyberpunk music, so it's a perfect fit. I guess I'm like a cyberpunk, like a cyber mage, cyber plane. So that's going to be a pivot. And I think it's going to be really interesting because the storyline is going to be these characters have Nephilim bloodlines in Illuminati bloodline families. And they managed to escape the main system of children from these Nephilim bloodlines go into the satanic ritual abuse program. So like they get fucked with in very like gruesome like ways. And I have to figure out if I like want my game to be rated like M or teen, because the Dark Illuminati, the shit they do to children is so dark that I don't think a video game has ever been made that is dark as like what they do. But anyway, these characters avoid that because they go into an Esper program where they, not out of the kindness of their hearts, because these are evil people, but they put them in a special program that actually fosters and boosts them up because they want their ESP powers to be harnessed, because later they categorize them and they'll either use them as energy siphons or they'll use them as weapons. And so they like build them up, and then once they like become an adult, like shortly after puberty, like they will like send them into this other program where they get abused in very different ways, because they're used as tools. Because a lot of these Illuminati dark like priests don't have the ability to like use psychic powers like that because they're so dense and dark. So they're not, when they do satanic ritual abuse to children, they're doing that to create slaves and obedient dogs that they could control throughout the world and interface with society. and they have like a whole plan. And so these espers avoid that because they don't want their psychic abilities, their etheric bodies, to get that damaged, because a lot of psychic power comes filtered, funneled through the etheric body. So the gameplay of this game is you're going to be Lyra escaping one of these programs, and like Super Metroid, which the genre is based off of, you would descend into a planet, but this one you're ascending, because your prison's going to be like underground. You're going to slowly escape into the Vatican. Maybe one of the final bosses will be you fucking fight the Pope, and his first form is like this dark mage and does all these crazy magic attacks. But then like his second form, he shapeshifts into a reptilian or something crazy like that. I'm laughing while I'm talking about this because it's so fucking ridiculous sounding, but I think that would be awesome. But no joke, that sounds ridiculous. But I fucking want to do it. Anyway, you heard it here first. So that's what's going on with that, guys. The other thing I wanted to talk about, the music I'm doing, which kind of ties into this because I'm going to be scoring this. But my social kit project, I've been going the hardest on that because that's been making me the most money. Well, actually, Whole Foods has been making me the most money. Let's be real. But like out of like my passions, the music has been making me the most money. So I've just been going hard on that. But I need some time space, and that takes up a lot of time. So I have a plan going where I'm finishing a bunch of tracks that I have stacked. That's exactly what I'm going to do right after I edit this video. Go hard, finish these tracks. Because once I finish them, I could set them up to release once a month. And I have enough tracks, if I finish them all, to get me to 2022. Which gives me time to use where I would normally do music stuff to study coding, programming. And this is going to be good for two reasons. One, it's going to help me be a better game developer. Two, I can pivot my Whole Foods job once I get good enough at writing code and work as like a web developer or software developer or whatever I end up going to in the tech field, and make way more money so I can automate my life and just make more money, which will eventually fund like, my priorities. And one of those priorities, like even though it's a lower one, will be this game. And when this game does really well, I can then shift that into being my job, and then I just make games for a living. And part of making games for a living would be talking about it and doing more stuff like this. So what I would do for my job is stuff like this, make games, and then that would just be it. That would be my job. And I would already be making music, because you need to make music for games. So it's like everything at once. And you need to do promo to make games, and a good promo is doing like vlogs and stuff like this. So it's a whole complete package. And Aeon Studios is going to be the vessel for that package. And I know you guys know me by Angel, but I think I may change my name up. Although we'll see. I want to legally change my name to something that really connects me with the principles of Hermeticism. But that's another topic. Just to wrap things up, music's going well, but it's eventually going to go on the sidelines and be converted into game dev for this whole encompassing holistic process. But that is the gist of it. This video is pretty long, over 10 minutes. But that's what's been going on. And we're in October now. This is like a September update. So I'll probably do another one, maybe at the end of October, who knows when. And they may be coming slower because I'm going to be studying really hard. But I will update you. I'm not going anywhere. So if it takes like a long time, just take it as, Angel is working really hard on something. Thank you, guys. Any comments? Let me know in the comments. Any questions? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, do you. Peace.